Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
Good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin with some breaking news right now. Some users finally able to use Facebook again. This after a nearly 6-hour outage.
Yeah, massive global outage shut down Facebook and its Instagram and WhatsApp platforms. The company didn't say what caused the outage, which began around 9:40 this morning. Facebook's own workforce were unable to connect to the platforms today. The last major outage lasted less than an hour back in June. Well, for hours, Facebook's only public comment was actually on Twitter. It was a tweet in which it acknowledged that some people are having trouble accessing the Facebook app and that it was working on restoring access regarding their internal failures. Instagram head Adam Mosseri tweeted that it feels like a snow day.
Well, we'll continue tracking the reasons for that here a little bit later. In the meantime, our top story tonight, in just under an hour, the Coeur d'Alene Public School Board of Trustees set to begin their monthly meeting. And this is going to be the first time the board has tried to meet since a crowd of angry protesters caused a district building to go into lockdown. Then a special meeting to discuss a mask mandate had to be canceled.
Yeah, the board may have a very different makeup after tonight. This is after 2 members submitted their resignations. Our very own Ian Smay joins us live now in the newsroom with more on how we got here and who might be leaving the board. Ian.
Yeah, Tom, Whitney, our cameras were there when protesters surrounded a Coeur d'Alene Public School Board's meeting. That meeting was originally called to discuss a possible mask mandate, and at tonight's meeting, like you said, the board will vote on whether to accept 2 trustees' resignations. So how did we get here? Well, I looked into how we got to this point ahead of tonight's board meeting. A vocal crowd against a district-wide mask mandate gathered outside of the Coeur d'Alene Public Schools Meeting Center a little more than a week ago, making their demands clear. My child, my choice! My child, my... Inside, the district's Board of Trustees were set to hold a special meeting on a potential mask mandate. This after the district had hundreds of COVID-19 cases since the start of the school year, and hospitals in Coeur d'Alene reported their highest numbers of COVID-19 ICU patients. However, because of the large crowd, the meeting was canceled. There were also safety concerns after a group of the protesters entered the district office, forcing the building to go into lockdown. Employees eventually left safely. Some protesters said they were simply there to make their voice heard about the mandates, while others were more angry and called for board members to be fired.
We're not here to cause problems, and we're not here to fight. We're here to be listened to and for our children to go to school freely without masks. I'm tired of the mask. Go yourself.
I don't know how you sleep at night. You know what you guys are doing to people. You're exploiting their fear.
Despite their efforts, the day ended with no change to the board's policy on masks. As it stands, masks are strongly encouraged but not required in district buildings. But now, at tonight's regularly scheduled board meeting, the makeup of the board could change. 2 board members, Chair Jennifer Brumley from Zone 4 in the southwest of the district, and Zone 3 trustee Tamber Pickford, who represents the western part of the district, both submitted letters of resignation. At the board meeting on September 13th, when the board made its decision on masks, both Brumley and Pickford were in favor of making them encouraged but not required. In fact, Brumley made the motion to change the wording to recommended but not required, and Pickford seconded that motion. They both went on to vote for the motion, which passed 3-2. Now that board meeting tonight is set to start at 5 o'clock. One thing not on the agenda for this meeting is anything dealing with a possible mask mandate. Also, the Coeur d'Alene Public Schools website lists 19 active COVID-19 cases among staff and 110 cases among students. There are also 34 total staff and 335 students out of the building currently. For context, about 11,000 students attend Coeur d'Alene Public Schools. In the newsroom, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
All right, Ian, thank you very much. Also tonight, Kootenai Health is reporting it's handling a record high number of pediatric COVID patients.
Yeah, 5 kids now with COVID are currently hospitalized at Kootenai. They're also treating a record number of adult COVID patients. 136 people are currently hospitalized at Kootenai Health. 40 of them are in the critical care unit.
Also tonight, the Spokane Police Department is wanting more tools to help them avoid deadly shootings.
Yeah, which is why it is asking Spokane City Council for approval to buy additional tools that they say will help them do just that. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley explains what tool they're looking to buy and where the funding comes from.
That's right. Spokane police want to buy 100 additional pepper ball launchers, and these are considered a less lethal tool that comply with Washington State's police reform laws. So the state allocated funds for Washington law enforcement agencies like SPD to make this one-time purchase. So you're looking at the video here. Spokane police chose these pepper ball less lethal launchers. It will cost nearly $68,000 to purchase 100 of them. The city of Spokane was awarded $890,000 from the state. It will determine if Spokane Police Department can use those funds for the pepper ball launchers. Now, in the city's Public Safety Committee meeting this afternoon, Sergeant Mike McNabb explained how the launcher would be used if someone was threatening police officers with a knife and refused to put it down.
Officers want to keep as much distance as possible in case the subject decides to charge at them and force a lethal encounter. At the same time, officers cannot let the subject leave on his own due to the potential threat to the public. If de-escalation tactics fail, officers could stop the subject from charging them or leaving the area by using a blunt impact launcher such as pepper ball or the FN 303. In a situation like this, every second counts.
Now, a pepper ball launcher uses a pepper spray projectile. Spokane police already have 8 launchers similar to this style, but only 6 are currently functioning. They say this purchase would replace the sponge round launcher they can no longer use under new state laws. Now, Sergeant McNabb told the Public Safety Committee the department wants to have a pepper ball launcher in every patrol car. But join me tonight at 5 ahead of the City Council meeting, and I'll share if SPD is aware if this type of launcher has ever injured or killed someone. Reporting in the newsroom, Amanda Rowley, Crime 2 News.
Thank you, Amanda. Hundreds of people protested the state vaccine mandate yesterday outside the state capitol in Olympia. Today is the deadline for unvaccinated state workers to get the Johnson & Johnson shot. Otherwise, barring an exemption, they'll be fired, and it's too late to get the 2-shot Pfizer or Moderna vaccination. Hundreds of people, many state employees, say their job is on the line over what should be a personal decision, though many protesters say they've already made up their minds.
I hope that when the in-state administration faces the reality of so many workers being facing termination, and the services that are going to be impacted, I hope that he is advised to rethink this and back off.
Government numbers show the mandate is working, though. According to the State Office of Financial Management, the vaccination rate among state employees jumped nearly 20% between September 6th and the 20th. And while the governor's order does include some provisions for medical and religious exemptions, most employees will have to prove full vaccination status come October 18th.
In the meantime, the most high-profile person in state employment caught up in Inslee's vaccine mandate is WSU's head football coach Nick Rolovich, and he had his weekly press conference today. He was asked several questions, again, about the mandate.
Today's the last day state employees can get vaccinated in order to comply with the governor's mandate unless they've qualified for an exemption. Have you been vaccinated or granted an exception?
I'm still following the process that's laid out. I'm going to kind of leave it right there, Drew. But I appreciate you getting on and asking.
I mean, these notices are being sent out to state employees who have not presented their proof yet. Have you received one of these notices? What can your
I don't know.
followers
I don't know what you're talking about with that. So
should fans be worried about you remaining the coach in 2 weeks when this deadline comes up?
I don't think so.
Nick, John Wilner of the Mercury News, in an article today on the vaccination topic, cited clauses in your contract and said you've chosen to risk your career and life's work. Do you feel you're risking your career?
No.
Again, if you have any questions for Coach Rolovich, please raise your hand and we'll call on you. Last chance. All right, Coach, next question is going to be Colton Clark, spokesman review. Go ahead, Colton.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about a little more about Oregon State.
Yeah, let's talk about Oregon State.
So Rolovich said today he also does not expect to lose any staff members because of the governor's mandate. So again, this is a story that we've been following, and we'll keep you posted as it develops. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about weather. Every day it's getting a little bit colder in the morning. I haven't turned on my heater yet. Have you?
I have not. Well, you know, that's not fair. Yes, I guess we have.
You did? Okay,
yeah.
I think I'm going to break down.
Radiant
today's
floor
the day.
heat, so you have to kind of bring it up slowly. At the same time, what I did do today, I blew out the sprinkler system.
Oh yeah, it's time.
Yeah, just got to get on it,
yep,
right?
Absolutely.
67 degrees, that's the current temperature, where the afternoons are sure beautiful. And my gosh, could we have asked for a better Sunday in October yesterday? I don't think so. Not much in the wind department. We love that. You take a look at the satellite and radar picture, actually seeing some showers up in northeastern Washington, the tip of the panhandle of Idaho, and more rain that is actually tracking up through just a little bit east of the Dalles down there in north central Oregon. We could get a few sprinkles early tomorrow morning, and then generally speaking, it should be a beautiful day. We'll look for, again, maybe a few sprinkles. We may get into the mid 70s on your Tuesday. Is that something else? With an overnight low of 47 degrees. For the weekend, much, much cooler weather moving in. And cold too, 35. The low Saturday morning, a chance of showers on Sunday, and a daytime high of only 59 degrees. I'll check the rest of the 7-day forecast for you coming up in a few minutes.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. And still to come here on KREM 2 News at 4, a sneak peek on a story we've been working to bring you for more than a year now. Jake and Jamie Highland were severely burned in a wildfire last year. They tragically lost their young son and their unborn baby, but they still hope to have kids again someday. So I'll show you more footage from our interview with the Highlands coming up after